And we are off. Hey guys, Brad here with a brand new episode on the Half a Dozen Hospitality Podcast. And today I'm coming to you live ish with just myself. Since June of 2018, I've been doing this podcast, and predominantly, I would say 98% of the interviews that I've done, or the podcasts that I've done, have been interview based. And while they have served me so well and I've learned so much, created such an amazing community through this podcast, I really do feel like it is my time to do more of these where I share more of my own personal thoughts on the industry and share some of my advice for the industry as well. As a consultant, I really am working to establish myself as a thought leader in this industry. And I want to step in front of this podcast a bit more and again, force myself to share some of the things that are on top of mind. And a lot of stuff that comes, honestly, becomes more apparent to me, I should say, as I work with my own clients, which I am so thankful. And it's crazy to me that I'm saying that out loud and on the record that I have clients that I'm working with. So shout out to all my clients. But I wanted to hop on today and tell a very quick story about a conversation I had today with some friends of mine who were dining last night at a prominent chain restaurant here in Vancouver. And this restaurant I've been to, and I personally go to it because I know that when I go, certain things are going to be done, meaning certain boxes are going to be checked. It's never going to be the most amazing meal that I've had or most memorable, but I know what to expect when I go in there from a atmosphere, from a service, from a food. Kind of everything has been so systemized, if you will, which I'm a big fan of systems. It becomes predictable, and for a lot of people that's nice and that's comfortable and they like that, and I'm not angry at that at all. I don't blame anyone for going to those restaurants. They exist for a reason. But the reason I wanted to hop on here and share this story was it just shows how there is no such thing as a perfect restaurant, and there's still so much room for us to be honest with ourselves as far as a business and as far as a leadership team that's running these businesses about the gaps that we do have and being very aware of them and being conscious of how we fill those in. So last week I shared a very quick podcast about asking yourself, would you date yourself? Meaning, would your restaurant be the restaurant that you personally would choose if you were dining out? And for a lot of us, the answer would be yes. That comes from like a pride, ego standpoint. But if you really broke it down, it's probably a no. And once we say no, it's about identifying why are we saying no. And with this story that my friends shared today about their dining experience last night, it made me realize that even these big restaurants that are multi-million-dollar corporations at the end of the day still have gaps and still need help. And this is, I think, should be kind of comforting, if you will, to the solo restaurateurs out there, the solo small mom and pop shops, if you will, but also very alarming for our industry as well. And what I find happens so much in our space, in our community, is we're very siloed. And I've said that a lot on my podcast, especially when it comes to chefs in the back of house or even front of house staff as well, restaurateurs themselves, managers, floor managers, bartenders. There can be that siloing that we do. We put these walls up where we don't want to share and we don't want to kind of create a community outside of that facade of when we're in a room, we're at an event with people, we have to kind of pretend that we're sharing, but really we're all fighting for bums and seats. And I get that. But I think there is beauty in putting the ego aside and acting more like an open community and sharing, because right now we're suffering and we don't need to be suffering. And I think what I learned from the story that my friends shared with me is we all need help. And I'm not saying that everyone needs to have a consultant or everyone needs to call me and I'm your fix. That's just not true. I would love to talk to you though. But the reality is we all have gaps in our game, and it's very easy for us just to go day by day by day doing the same thing, thinking we're doing it great. But then every once in a while we get a table like my friends last night and they were completely dissatisfied with the experience. And that's just the real part of what we do. But when that happens, like anything else, is like if you fall down, it's not about falling down, it's about getting back up. And with restaurants like this that have these off nights or off shifts or bad tables or whatever it may be, it's again about learning about those experiences and moving forward and getting better from it. But a lot of us are so locked into our own visions and what we think is right that we're not open to having people come in and share. And that's again part of me where the silo issue comes up is we're almost too proud to say I need help. And that's something that's actually served me very well when it comes to my consulting, is because I'm learning, and I've learned that I don't and can't do everything, meaning I can't solve every issue for my clients. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to conceptualizing a menu. That's not my jam. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to bookkeeping or accounting. That's not my jam. But I will surround myself with people that are really, really good at that and be humble enough to say, you know what, this aspect of this job is way over my head, but please work with so-and-so. But what I will do as well is when they're working with so-and-so, I'll be educating myself as much as I possibly can. So that the next client that comes through and they say, hey, Brad, can you help with bookkeeping? I still may not be up to the speed where I'd want to be, but I'll have a lot more education behind me and understanding, and I will do my best to help them. But what I won't do is sacrifice my clients' experience and their results just because I want to make a buck or I have this ego issue. And again, I feel like we're so aggressively in this mindset of lack in the hospitality space that we are willing to pretend we're something that we're not. And we're willing to open our doors day in and day out when we know there's gaps in our business and we don't ask for help. What I want to see for the industry here locally in Vancouver and internationally is this platform for people to come and share and say, my business hurts and I'm tired and I'm stressed. Help me out. And I guarantee you there are more than enough people that have felt that pain, have been through what you've been through, and they're willing to help you out, whether it be for a cost or not. There is that platform and there are those people that do exist. So we all have to get over ourselves a bit to allow for that communication to begin. So I really wanted to stress how that has served me so well. The dropping of the facade of I can do everything and I am everything for my clients is just not real. And I don't know that there's any business out there that really is that. I feel like I'm niching down more and more and more with each client that I get and each day that goes by. And I feel like restaurants as a business would serve them so well to do that. I mean, we've seen it with menus over the last 10, 15 years. And it's this rhetoric that we all know is pick a few things and do them really well. And for the most part, a lot of the most successful restaurants in the world, that's what they do. They're known for certain things. They don't do every single thing, meaning their menu isn't 10 pages long. It's likely 1 page. And those things on the menu are generally amazing. So can that not be us? Can that not be us as a business? Can we not try and do everything on our own? And can we reach out for help when we need it? And there's a whole other podcast there when it comes to just the longevity for people in this space feeling so siloed themselves and the mental stress and anxiety that creates in the leaders of this industry. Does reaching out not allow for us to mitigate a lot of those losses and be healthier, not only healthier in body and mind and spirit, but also in bottom line and business as well. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this if you are intrigued on interacting and letting me know where you think ego sits with our industry as a whole, with restaurateurs, with chefs, with bartenders, with waiters, waitresses, bakers, all those things. Does it exist and is it holding the industry back? I think it is. I think we need more conversation. I think we need more guests on this podcast and others like it to really kind of open up those doors for conversations and allow us to say, look, we do have gaps and we do want help. And pumping the brakes a little bit. And again, changing that mindset of one of lack to one of abundance, but also one of I'm open to learn, please help me. So if you're listening to this and you do need help with your business, again, I am no way, shape, or form the guy for everyone or the person for everyone. But I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you, talk through some of the issues that you're having, and see if there's a potential that I could help you out, or someone else that I know in my network that could have a conversation with you and kind of help you out move forward with any of the gaps that you currently have. So If that's you, please do reach out. Otherwise, that's it for me, team. If you enjoyed this podcast and you think anyone else would enjoy it as well, please do like and share and subscribe to this podcast. I greatly appreciate all of you. And that is it for me. You guys know what to do until next time. Be good and do good. I'm out.